So I just wanted to sort of connect all these dots we've been talking about, starting from religion, from this Yuan Noari, if I'm pronouncing his name right, the book Homo Sapiens, right? As we were talking about
Yeah.
religion, my brain was constantly telling me that, where does this come from? And that just reminded me of the whole idea of that there was a time when Homo sapiens started thinking about the abstract ideas, and other our cousins like like Neanderthals. They couldn't sort of think of abstract ideas like companies or things that we can't see and feel. That is the sort of the distinction between Homo sapiens and other cousins that were there, to sort of help them also create mass movements and explore the rest of the earth. That's how we were sort of able to um, perform mass killings for sure, but at the same time we were also able to uh, make meaning out of things and communicate that meaning across people that we don't know. So that is, I think, the core idea where something like religion came up, as to basically build on storytelling, how you can create a story which is easy to communicate, like, as I think one of the points that Gautam was pointing out, ki how do you sort of understand religion different from nature. A lot of religions always are building upon aspects of nature, like they sort of personify that aspect and they try to protect it, even though in reality now we're sort of we might be deviating from that version of religion. But just to say that that's where it sort of started. And on to the next book of Yuan Noari, which is Homo Deus, where he talks about this whole amalgamation of humans and artificial intelligence. And this is, I think, we're moving closer to that now. That how do you sort of see artificial intelligence sort of collaborating with humans? And one, I think, no matter what we do, one of the problems which will always exist in artificial intelligence, according to me, is so it's largely based on natural language processing. But your natural language could be different than mine. I could be good Hindi speaker, you could be a good English speaker, someone could be a good Spanish speaker, right? So how do you sort of, it's always based on the fact that you're assuming that something like, let's say, the word depression has a root word in Hindi also. In all the languages, you need to sort of see that these root words have a very mappable meaning, which I think is going to be a challenge. What do you guys think? How that could be solved?
So I think I can speak something on that. But before there was one point. I think what was your first point? I'm forgetting. Before you came onto this, yeah,
Religion sort of
yeah,
started.
development of religion, right? How
Yeah.
Neanderthals and then human. So actually, and we are going back to a bit of biology here, but the starting of higher order thinking, or what you call executive planning in neuroscience, actually has a biological basis also. It's called neocortex. So we have a part of brain which actually Neanderthals did not have, or even our, so like
Yes.
these Homo erectus, for example, the
Yeah.
ones closest to us, and then even before you Paranthropus robust, these different hominid, they're called hominid species. So there is a biological basis for having neocortex. It's very new. It's a relatively recent evolution
Right.
versus reptilian brain that's like uh, aeons old, I think, at this point. Anyway,
But
so
is neocortex
uh,
same as prefrontal cortex or different?
it's even, yeah, it's a bit ahead of even
Okay.
prefrontal cortex. So
Okay.
you look at the foreheads of, for example, chimpanzees and humans. If you look at the skulls, right, you will see a protrusion in humans, what's called matha in Hindi, right? So where
Yeah.
you put the tilak, right, where you put the tilak, that's the idea. That's
Martha,
the
that just took
yeah.
me to like Superman and Batman. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Anyway,
just to clarify, because Gautam had just asked that. I'm sorry, Partha,
yeah, yeah,
not
right,
interrupting you
yeah.
there. But the
Mhm.
neocortex is again the most recent form to evolve in the human brain. I
Mhm.
think that's why it is also
Right.
called the neocortex. But the
Yes.
neocortex is actually divided into, like, different lobes. So the lobes that we speak about, that's
Mhm.
actually the differentiation of the functions. that have
Right.
come in with with the formation of this fine layer, and I think it's one of the
True.
thinnest layer in our brains as well. So, but when it comes to
Yes.
decision
Yes.
making, and a lot of our personality, which also comes from it, it comes
Uh-huh.
from our frontal lobe, because that is where, and
Mental
even
load. Yes.
the
Correct.
neocortex, I mean the frontal lobe also has the motor cortex in it. So that's where
Correct.
our
Yeah.
fine movements and even our expressions, everything, like a lot of our personality is actually driven by the frontal lobe. So
Yes.
there's
Yes.
like very
Yeah.
sophisticated differentiation, and the more I read about the brain, the more I study it,
Mhm.
and which is another motivation of me kind of also pursuing psychology, is to study the brain, because it's just like one of the most fascinating aspects. So I mean, it's just like
Very true.
triggered that
Yeah.
memory. So I just thought I'd expand on that. Yes, Parth, go ahead.
No, no. Thanks for going to that. I think I have. So Gautam, since I don't really watch a lot of movies, which I think you must have figured out by now. But there's this movie called Liar Liar, right? Where the person is unable to lie.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes,
so
yes.
that
Jim Carrey. Jim
yeah,
Carrey, right?
Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey, yeah, Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
yeah,
So that's actually a documented medical problem. It's called, and I think Simrat will really resonate with this. It's called frontal lobe inhibition. So you are
Yes.
unable to lie
Yeah.
in that
Hmm. Hmm.
if you have that condition.